Look at all that crap I have in my. I'm going to adjust my YouTube page here. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, here's my YouTube live stream. Hey, Jonathan. So for some reason, Facebook crashes or what, I'm on there. Oh, maybe that is not it. No, that's my dashboard. Oh, here's the share link. Gave me a share link. No, that's not it. I need to delete that. Sorry, folks. Had a rough start here. I've had to thanks, Carrie. No, okay, music's off. Folks, we have some events coming up. We have some issues that have been going on here in the state of Arkansas. First of all, glad y'all are here. I may try to put somebody on camera in a little bit, but for right now, I'm going to try to just chat through this. We've had for those that don't know, there's been a lot of problems regarding the BLM Antifa criminal lives matter movement. Another excuse to push leftist anti-American crap agenda. And these are a group of cowards who do not care about anything but advancing leftist causes and will use any event, tragedy, whether real or imaginary, to push that goal. The recent event is, of course, George Floyd, who was murdered. Might have been murdered over either counterfeit money scheme or possibly a girl that Derek Chauvin, the cop and them knew each other for 17 years. Even some of the footage of it is suspicious, and the fact that these people knew each other for that long and both had killed, and I don't know. I can't say. I'm not gonna delve into what might have been, but it looks like that guy, who did have a criminal record, by the way, was killed by a white cop, and that it was done openly and publicly. I've kind of wondered. I'd like to see Derek Chauvin's bank account and see if somebody paid him to do that, because he had to have known he was going to get backlash for doing that. It doesn't seem. I'm putting in a memory chip in my camcorder. Like I said, I'm having to scramble while I do this here because my Lenovo decided it wanted to be slow as hell and basically refused to work. And it has my video footage from this, the other event that I'm going to talk about. But Arkansas's little hand in this involvement in the BLM movement has been a bunch of the folks from the Occupy Wall Street movement and the ACLU, Moms Demand, and the usual leftist groups that we already have in here, springing into action and doing these riot/protests. First thing they did is they blocked I-630. They were appeased by our worthless mayor of Little Rock, Frank Scott Jr., who was earlier trying to push for a tax increase, but the Wuhan virus stopped him from doing that. Already had an incident where he tried to fire a white cop for justifiably shooting an idiot thug named Bradley Blankshire. I think Blankshire, it doesn't matter. He's dead. He was a guy on drugs with already a long rap sheet with a stolen car and a gun and a poor girl who was a prostitute that decided to park across some of the Valero off of Rodney Parham exit in 630 and do some business with the prostitute and officer, but he had been trashed before by the cops for his stolen rental. And when officer, oh my goodness, he's a white guy. That's supposedly important, but when the police officer stood in front of the vehicle to stop him from leaving the parking lot, Bradley tried to run him over, and that's when the officer shot him. If he had not, it's likely Bradley would have either A, gotten away to commit more crimes, B, harmed the girl that he was with, or C, ran into somebody killing or hurting innocent people. Our Frank Scott Jr., for those that know, is a black, basically communist Obama wannabe mayor of Little Rock, tried to fire this officer. And then when that didn't work, he decided to hire Chief Keith Humphreys to head the Little Rock Police Division. And that Chief Humphreys has numerous lawsuits against him regarding officer, I think his name is Stewart, as well as abusive workplace, as well as sexual harassment. He's got other lawsuits for also trying to get his girlfriend, his mistress, to be placed on I think it was an $80,000 a year, that it was in charge of the $80 million budget. It was a high-ranking position that this police chief trying to get folks on. But these are the clowns that also decided to appease the leftists by saying that it was our constitutional right to block I-630, one of our biggest interstates coming across Little Rock. I-630 isn't big in terms of an interstate, but it is very important. It's actually on the way to Arkansas Children's Hospital as well as Baptist Health. So, fortunately, police were able to force them off of there. Then this group of what were called peaceful protesters proceeded to try to do a little rioting, just like they had done in Minneapolis. They smashed a few windows. They spray painted the steps of the Arkansas State Capitol. They actually smashed the windows of the Democrat Party headquarters, which is a little bit further away, but they did do some damage in terms of people's property. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah. Hey, cat and dog lover. I'm kind of halfway right with you. So, yeah, some guy on YouTube is saying that the restaurant or club that Derek Chauvin and Garrett and George Floyd worked at was burned to the ground. Honestly, there's some mysteries regarding that, the relationship, what they did, the counterfeit money, why Derek Chauvin thought he could get away, or what he was thinking when he was choking a black dude for 9 minutes with his knee. The deal with the EMTs. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to dwell into that. What I am going to talk about is the appeasement of these leftist groups. We've seen it in Seattle, where they basically gave them 6 blocks, but we saw a little bit of that here in Little Rock. As I said before, the Little Rock mayor, Frank Scott Jr., and our police chief, Keith Humphreys, tried to appease these leftists by letting them block the interstate and then letting them smash these a bunch of places. They also violated the curfew. Little Rock has been under various Wuhan, and I think it was either 8 or 9 o'clock for juveniles, unless you were working, and all kinds of weird rules, and they constantly change. But of course, the Wuhan virus regulations, which have been used to shut down businesses, were not applied to these lefties, not applied to Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and whatever other weirdos decided to join this cabal of. So, and this group tried to they did smash some windows, and I don't know if they set anything on fire or not. I can't remember, but eventually some police officers tear gassed them. Some reporters also got tear gassed, and there may have been some folks that got. I think there were a few arrests that are all local folks. Oddly enough, the Chief Humphreys and Frank Scott Jr. held press conferences claiming that there were out-of-state infiltrators, but that they somehow got away because they were really supposedly organized. Now, by the way, we have cameras all over our capital here in Little Rock. Of course, most major cities do have cameras, so I'm pretty sure if they made a real effort to catch these guys, they would. But again, Frank Scott Jr. and Chief Keith Humphreys and probably some other city council members were appeasing this cowardly leftist group. They wanted them to take over. And this is nothing new. Years ago in 2012, up until 2012, the Occupy Little Rock group was allowed to basically squat at the post office parking lot off of 6th Street. I think it's a 6th Street exit in I-30. Right over there near the post office and near the Clinton Library, right there. They were allowed to do that until they interfered with Riverfest parking, and that was in Mayor Mark Stodola, who is also a Democrat, not as leftist as Frank Scott Jr., more of a crony Chamber of Commerce type guy. But he appeased them up until they interfered with what was then a very important tourist dollars scam known as Riverfest. So when they did that, then they sent in the Little Rock police and kicked them out. But in regards to appeasement, sadly, of course, we have Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson has also been appeasing this group. And Governor Asa Hutchinson, who has a habit of sticking his finger in the wind, deciding what's best to get along, decided at this time to appoint a law enforcement task force, which, quite frankly, we already have multiple organizations that deal with law enforcement. And we do have some problems with law enforcement. I had a few run-ins with some bad cops. There was a White County Sheriff's deputy who threatened to arrest me for filming him, which he shouldn't have done. And then I was removed. I was forced to leave while gathering signatures for a ballot initiative years ago, despite me having every right to be there. And I also had in recently regarding the Wuhan virus on Good Friday, Little Rock police officers tried to threaten to arrest a black pastor Justin Lee, who was protesting in front of the abortion clinic for over a noise ordinance. And myself and an activist by the name of Dale of every 20 seconds demanded to see a supervisor. When the supervisor showed up, the Little Rock police, he told these two cops to leave. I think it was a black cop that was mainly trying to issue this fake order, but it's obviously not as serious as George Floyd or somebody getting wounded or hurt or killed or even unjustifiably arrested. Hey, Cacta Rose. Yes, Asa Hutchinson, this is his last term for governor. He is, however, wanting to maintain high numbers and popularity and conservative. He wants political capital so he can sell a tax increase / extension November called Arkansas Issue 1. If you're a voter in the state of Arkansas, vote against Arkansas Issue 1. It is nothing but a stupid tax increase. It's going to take money from mom and pop stores that have already been hit hard and give it to the worthless bureaucrats in Arkansas Department of Transportation so they can give themselves higher salaries and more pet projects. Also, like, share, and comment on this, regardless of whatever place you're at. You can text it, you can email it, you can Facebook share it, of course. If you're on YouTube live stream, you can share it on YouTube as well. I'm also going to have edited videos of this. I tried to have edited videos of the event I went to where I got for Arkansas 2A women, but I'll get to that in just a little bit. Anyway, back to Asa Hutchinson appoints this law enforcement task force, which he didn't need to do. It's been later found out that at least 3 of these task force members are in some way, shape, and form anti-cop, part of the leftists, basically either defund the police or overall hate the police, race baiting, race hustling group. Now, 2 of them I don't know. Doc Washburn talked about them earlier today in his radio show, but they've had some posts on their Facebook page where they say F the police and other racial slurs. But one of them I noticed and recognized and have run into before, and that is Rosa Angela Velasquez. Hey, Bria. Hey, Alan. Rosa Velasquez is an illegal alien activist. If she states that she is an immigrant, I don't know her immigration status. I don't know if she is a full-blown illegal alien. I don't know if she's a dreamer or came here legally. I honestly don't know. But I do know that she supports illegal migration. She supports open borders, not for Mexico, of course, not for the Central and South American countries, and probably not for the Seattle communist commune up there. But she does support open borders for the United States of America and the abolition of ICE. She's been a part of that movement for years. I have one video of her testifying against SB 401, the bill to cut the funding to sanctuary cities. And the basic excuse for this is the standard excuse they have for everything else is you can't enforce the law so that we can have a quote-unquote relationship with the community so they can supposedly report crimes. That's a scam they run. You gotta let these come in, drive around the country illegally, not have a license, not have insurance. Maybe let them speed, let them get off on 3-4 DWIs, so that hopefully if they see a rape or a murder or a serious crime, they'll supposedly report it. And that's a kind of a stupid mentality or thought process behind that. No other community gets to get away with that, by the way. Any one of us go in and shoplift in Walmart or we go 20 miles an hour over the speed limit or, don't have our license, cop pulls us over and say, well, you need to let me go because I might report another crime. No, that doesn't work with us. But she's part of that movement. And now Governor Asa Hutchinson appointed her part of this Arkansas Law Enforcement Task Force or Law Enforcement Relation Task Force to appease, again, the BLM agenda. And it turns out she's actually been public about abolishing ICE, which is bad enough. But now it turns out she's also for defund the police. She has actually had Facebook posts that state that. And as soon as this appointment was made, people started seeing this photo. She herself put about 3 photos of her during the appointment process with her little Wuhan virus mask on at the state capitol. And people started looking at some of her other Facebook posts and started realizing who this person really is. And they started, repeating it and showing other people, and myself included. The lovely Rebecca actually got one of her comments about about some of her issues. I'm going to try to find that now. I'm actually bringing up Facebook right now. And it turns out I had at least 2 videos of her testifying against bills to stop illegal immigration, SB 411. She commented she's hired by a group called Arkansas United to go into the state and it's another pro-illegal immigration group. I think before then it was called the Friendship Coalition, but it's the same characters. It's a bunch of fake pro-illegal alien groups that disguise themselves as, they have a bunch of fake immigration groups. You have the Chamber of Commerce. You have a bunch of these leftist clowns. Arkansas United for the Arkansas for the Advocates for the Family for the Poor, and which is nothing but a leftist group. Hey, Pastor Hess, I believe. Let me see if I can find that comment here because Rebecca sent it to me. Oh, no, wait, she posted. I don't know if she sent it to me via message or if she posted it. But I've posted it on Facebook in multiple places. I'm just trying to grab it here. Nope, she didn't. It wasn't sent in Messenger. It was sent via another way. No, I don't want gaming. Need notifications. Hey, Kevin. But she has, there's been some controversy brought up. Senator Alan Clark actually mention this briefly. And let me see if I can grab. No, that's not what I wanted. Guess I get my link from here. I'm trying to find a comment here. As I said, I tried to prep for this, and one of my laptops decided not to work. And I have, of course, a video of her where she speaks out against SB 4 and 1. There's probably older videos of her besides mine. Of course, the Arkansas legislature does record everything, but you have to take him. It takes you a while to go through it because it's all one big thing. I actually cut and edit the video and title it so that you can kind of see a little bit more of what it is that you're talking about, and you don't have to take the time to have to. You can just look at it, share it, and then throw it out to whoever needs it. Here's Doc Washburn's post. I'll send that as well. So Doc Washburn, this is from Linda Boardmere Norris. Don't know if you're on, but thank you for actually doing this, because this is one of the links I needed. It shows some pictures of her where she states defund the police. And let me see if I can click on here and read this. No, I can't. It's too small in print. And she actually, and the reason I'm showing this is that she actually scrubbed and took it down. Okay, here we go. Finally. I know a lot of friends are going to protest today, some for the first time. It's great. Make sure you're prepared, despite you may see an establishment out in social media. No protest ever begins with intention of protest damage. What happens every time is police provoke the crowd, protesters defend themselves against the attack, and police escalate until a tinderbox lightens up. So every time, so this is this woman's reasoning. Every time there's a protest and windows get smashed or things get burned or people get shot and killed, it's because of the police. No, there's never groups of Antifa folks who walk around and bring weapons to a protest and bring fire bombs and lead pipes to protest and smash it. No, that's always the police fault. Hey, Rebecca, I'm trying to find your comment because your statement that you actually screenshot was a good one. I'm just trying to find it. Police are the outside agitators, and it's a damn lie. Matter of fact, here I'll copy the link to the statement I'm talking about. It kind of goes a little bit longer, but I'm just reading the first part of it. Yeah, this is a full-blown leftist, anti-American commie. That's what she is. And this kind of irritates me because we're supposed to have a Republican governor, but yet he is appointing this kind of person to a position of power. And these task forces, they make recommendations. They go before the state legislature. They'll have a bully pulpit. And, of course, they are now given legitimacy. This lady should not be appointed to anything. She has, as far as I can tell, I don't see she has any police experience whatsoever. No, to get this woman should not be in any position of power at all, and yet she's been given an appointed to a post along with at least two other anti-cop folks, and I don't even know. Oh, there's Rebecca. Thank you so much. I love you. There it is. I'll read it for those who may not be able to see this. Oh, this is the whole thing. Okay, announced her today. She was appointed. She just hashtags justice for Bradley Blackshire. That's the career criminal who was caught with a stolen car, a gun, drugs and a prostitute, was parked at the parking lot, and then tried to run over a cop and was newly killed before he could hurt anybody, either driving away or committing more crime. And they're supposed to have a final report. She doesn't want to celebrate. She wants to celebrate the fact that she's the only Latina appointed. Why does that matter? We're not supposed to care. The immigrant community, that's illegals. She doesn't give a damn about the immigrant community, because if she did, she'd want to stop illegal immigration and the tons of narcotics and crime that crosses the border and is allowed to go into sanctuary states and cities. And by the way, Little Rock is still probably a sanctuary city. They're just not open about it. She says she'll step down if she's not taken seriously. Here it is. We want to defund the police and want to hold law enforcement accountable for their behavior. That doesn't work. If you defund the police, you can't hold them accountable because they don't exist. Plus, they're not going to care. They're going to quit. And then you end up with the mafia. She claims white supremacy and oppression, white supremacy in an institution. That's a lie. The Little Rock police chief is black. Our Pulaski County sheriff is black. The hell are you talking about? There's no white supremacy in the police departments. I know there's black state troopers. Hell, they had to basically replace the Little Rock Police Department and along with the National Guard when when Mayor Frank Scott Jr. refused to let the Little Rock Police do their job. So that's just a lie. And of course, she's also looking to abolish ICE. Those are the people that are risking their lives, and some of them have died, stopping the invasion of our borders, and do away with 287G agreements in Arkansas. That's where the police work with ICE in order to apprehend illegals who've already committed a crime and are in jail to get them out of here. Oh, update. Keith called the governor's office and they told him that she's being removed. Okay. Oh, well, that would be a relief. I'm glad to hear that. Maybe they ought to remove the official and Asa Hutchinson's staff who thought it was a good idea to put this person on before checking out their damn Facebook page. And by the way, there's at least 2 other members of this joke of a task force who probably don't need to be there either. Doc Washburn's talked about them. If that happens, that'll be because of folks like us. That'll be folks like you and me and the lovely Rebecca and Linda and Sabine Durden, who's been pushing pushing for immigration reform, and Jan Morgan, who helped push for SB 741, and our dearly beloved Linda Collins Smith, who was murdered. She pushed for SB 411. That would be a great victory, at least a smart victory. I mean, the task force needs to be dismantled. It's a joke. They're going to make recommendations. Ace is going to stick his finger in the wind. They're to try to see, just like with the other task forces. They're a joke. No, absolutely right, Nancy. You're absolutely right. She should have never been appointed. But anyway, that's pretty much my comments on that issue. Let me get this one other thing let me get some good news. 2A Women had an event today in Hot Springs. The Italia Villa hosted an event. And by the way, one last thing on that appointment. There needs to be a rule change regarding the Republican Party, who's going to have their convention on the 20th. I don't know if it's time enough to do that or not. Either a resolution, but more importantly, a rule change that Republicans should not be appointing leftists like her to positions of power. Because we've seen this before with the governor and other task forces. We've seen this with the Republican legislature and getting these fake Republicans like Dan Douglas and Joe Jett, who were nothing but Democrats, and putting them in positions of power, appointing them committee chairs, that sort of thing. That does not need to happen. We've had a lot of that crap going on. Trump needs to do it. Trump needs to fire him. He should have fired a lot of these bureaucrats from day one. And of course, all the way down the line. Yeah, Tom Cotton has a bad staffer. His district his first congressional district guy was one of the guys that kicked me and Rebecca out of the John Cooper meet and greet. Now I can't remember that fat idiot's name. So yeah, there's bad staffers all over the place. George Bush should have never hired Karl Rove. Donald Trump had Prince Priebus work for him, and that was the guy who screwed up the RNC over the past couple of years. The NRA needs to get rid of Wayne LaPierre, who spends too much time shopping instead of helping local activists, especially the 2A women. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about. Thank you very much, Nancy. 2A women had a luncheon today. I live streamed it. I edited some film about it. The film is on another laptop, which is having problems right now. I'm going to scream and yell at it in a little bit, but I have some edited video of that event, which I'll take and try to post on here. I have at least one video. It's from Alan Clark. And he actually spoke about some of the appointments that Asa has done. But it was at this event, so I do want to take a link to it. If I can ever get to it, this stupid thing it keeps wanting me to, let me switch accounts. Oh, there it is. Your channel. Yes, that's the other event. I didn't mention that here, and I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. But anyway, this was an event that was a sold out crowd. We packed this place. And Alan Clark was one of the guest speakers. Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin spoke there. Some activists from Oklahoma. By the way, they're having a primary, I think, June 30th. So if you know me in Oklahoma, find out who some of the legislators are there. There's a pro-life activist that's running against a pro-abortion Republican in the Republican primary, and I can't remember her name. I'll try and look that up too. I'm going to post the Alan Clark video onto here, so that he basically spoke and made some comments about the defund police activists, but he did it at this event. So I just wanted to show people that, and but of course the main issue with 2A women was defending our gun rights, which, as we just saw, is extremely important. Defending our other rights, getting active, especially on a local level, fighting against Moms Demand Action. And by the way, for those who don't know, Moms Demand Action is very active across the nation and in this state. They have multiple chapters. They have regular meetings. Some of their meetings can get up to 40 to 50 people. They've had about that many activists at the last legislative session. They were there almost every time. And because Asa Hutchinson is a globalist, he tries ways to appease them. There's photographs of him embracing this ridiculous group. He has tried to help them in terms of sabotaging the campus carry bill, creating confusion regarding Act 746, which says we can carry wherever we wish to. We had a stand your ground bill that was defeated. And it's like a little tricks they do. What they do, they don't openly oppose it. What they do is they schedule it during a committee meeting, and then they don't give us time to give a response. They reschedule the meeting, and a bill dies in committee. John Cooper actually killed the last stand your ground bill. He was the fake Republican who kicked us out of his public meet and greet, along with the help of a bureaucrat from St. Bernard's Hospital named, I think, Michael Givens, and then that Tom Cotton aide for the 1st Congressional District, whose name I can't remember. But, yeah, so we have a Republican supermajority, and we heard from folks in Oklahoma who had the same problem. They have a Republican governor, Republican pretty much all the way down the line, Republican supermajorities, and they're still getting screwed over with gun rights. And it's because there's a lot of rhinos in the party, and it's also because the National Rifle Association, the supposed big gun rights activist group, spends its time caring more about Wayne LaPierre shopping and, having a big table at a the umpteenth gun show or shot show, and having some dignitary speak at their event than actually fighting for real local gun rights. They helped sabotage the campus carry bill. Their NRA rep was there the session before last. I was there filming it and asked them about it after that session. This last session, I didn't even see the National Rifle Association rep. It's some lady, and I've asked other activists who are more involved than I am if they've ever seen this person. They couldn't point to a time they have. And they certainly haven't poured near as much money as they have toward, electing the next rhino. And they've dumped a lot of money for Trump, for which I think they took a lot more credit for than they deserve. Sorry, I'm having a charge phone here. Yes, I trust this computer. No, don't stop asking me. Hey, Robert. No. Oh, wait. 1 second. Boom. But anyway, there's going to be a 2A Women's going to be active. It looks like they're growing across the nation, but we're having regular meetings eventually. Of course, 2A Women has their regular shirt for women, and if you're a 2A Women supporter, you can get one. They deliberately chose the colors black and white to say contrast. Every one of these gun laws that have been passed have been done so unconstitutionally, and usually during a crisis, by the way. The bill to ban automatic firearms was passed after the St. Valentine's Day massacre, where the government allowed Al Capone to run Chicago, and instead of doing what Trump needs to do now, which is send in the National Guard and depose the crooked Democrat leaders, they used that as an excuse to ban full auto weapons. Before that, you could roll a Thompson submachine gun, which is a 45 caliber full auto weapon, as many drums and magazines as you wanted, via mail. And it was actually popular among ranchers. They were the ones who bought those so they could, defend themselves, and they're out in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, that was the excuse. And of course, it didn't stop crime. It didn't stop the mob. Any ending prohibition didn't stop the mob. They just switched the heroin and prostitution and extortion. But of course, government is deliberately allowing organized crime to hurt us. That's what they're doing in Seattle with these BLM rioters. They're letting them get their way, and they're using an excuse to get more money and power. And Trump has been fighting against that, along with a handful of conservative activists. He's trying to do his part on a national level, but he won't be able to drain your local swamp. That's up to you. And 2A Women is one of the groups fighting against that. And if you want to help and get involved in that, there's another way you can deal with that. And that is this coming Sunday at 2 p.m., June 14th. Let me repost that paste there because I've posted this. It's Flag Day. It is Trump's birthday. And it is also an event to celebrate Donald Trump, conservative activism. Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Arkansas State Capitol, conservative activists, lots of them, are going to gather there to hold a rally. I'll also open up the state. By the way, the state needs to completely open. The COVID thing is ridiculous. South Dakota is the only real state that truly stayed open. A lot of mom and pop, especially restaurants, are being hurt by this stupid partial opening. A lot of other medical places are being harmed because these ridiculous rules. If I met Abby Johnson from you. This is a comment from YouTube. Is she the pro-life activist? Is she the Planned Parenthood? Abby Johnson, was she the Planned Parenthood lady who switched after she saw a child being aborted in an ultrasound? Is that Abby Johnson? I didn't meet her directly. I filmed one of her events when she came to Little Rock years ago, and I saw the movie. I I think it was Unplanned. The movie about her story where she leaves the abortion industry. So no, I haven't met her. Just commenting on a YouTube page here. But anyway, Sunday, conservative activists, pro-life activists, gun rights activists, convention folks, anybody who wants this nation, who's sick and tired of the expansion of government, be there Sunday at 2. I'll film and live stream there. My sister's running office in Oklahoma, candidates District 17 and 18. What's their name, Cat and Dog Lover 180? Yeah, Abby Johnson. Like I said, I don't think I've directly met her, but I filmed one of her events and I've seen her movie. And of course, I've been down there in front of the abortion clinic. Wish a lot of other churches would get involved in that. Speaking of what, yes, Christian activists, tell your churches they need to be there. Tell your pastor to, after the service, go over Sunday at 2 at the Capitol. It'll be a little warm, but it's not like it's just like shopping or anywhere else. Most services get done now 11:30, 11:45, get you plenty of time to get you lunch. Go over there. You can bring a lawn chair and chill. Based upon the precedents that's been set before, you should be able to bring a firearm and with magazine fully loaded and chambered. Black Lives Matter was able to do it, and so they cannot do a double standard forever. So go ahead and pack, and if the police come by, if Capitol Police harass you, say you've already set the precedent for allowing this. There's Black Lives Matter. I know at least one day it was allowed to do it because I saw them, AR-15s or various AR-15 looking platforms, magazine there, and the bolt was not open, so most likely it was loaded. Hey, Patty. So anyway, that's an event coming up Sunday, and show up there. If you can't show up, or even if you can, like, share, and comment that as well. Matter of fact, I can show that event. I know I've shown it before. I've made multiple posts about that. I've got a standard thing. I have standard copy and paste things on my phone, but I don't have it on my laptop. And of course, if I got to go to my phone to use it, then I can't find it on my laptop. But I think I have a post to that event. Arkansas. No. Here we go. I have a few events. Here, I'll post both these events. This is a smaller, less descriptive version. They should have a Facebook page for the event. Don't know when the president's coming here, but June, what is it this coming Saturday? Bring up my calendar, you piece of crap. Laptop. June 19th. So the rally is this Sunday, June 14th at 2 p.m. June 19th, I believe, at 7 p.m. Central is a big Trump rally. Although, quite frankly, to go to a Trump rally, you need to be there at least 3 to 4 hours beforehand. Because, of course, they're packed. Because, yeah, I would call the Capitol Police and ask them why they allowed Black Lives Matter to have their weapons full magged and chambered, because they allowed them. I mean, it's all you go on KATV, and of course they broadcast the stupid protests every day. You'll see them; they're right there. There's at least they'll be the main speaker, and they'll be right there next to them. Yes, not tomorrow, but the following Friday, 19th. Trump is supposed to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I just heard about it. I think it's at 7. Viva wants to carpool to that. I'm still working on possibly being able to go. I haven't quite finalized that yet. There's also Chris Ann Hall supposed to be somewhere around here. I can't remember what day that is. I think that's June 18th in Fort Smith, Sebastian County Courthouse. Or somewhere in Sebastian County, or the Republican meeting up there. Okay, then. Well, maybe we can carpool. I'll look into that. I don't know. I got a Dodge Journey, so I can take 1, 3, 4, 5, I think 6, 7, and maybe 8 or 9 if they stay in the very back and promise not to trash too many things there. I got some hot springs water too that are brought along with me. Get some snackages and possibly go up there. But that's, like I said, down the road further on. The following day, June 20th, is the Republican Arkansas Republican Party Summer Committee meeting. That will be in Hot Springs. Several counties and districts are choosing the people to go to that. They will elect the committee man and the committee woman at that event. They will also pass resolutions and rules. Now, they had a resolutions committee that's been meeting over the while, and they've worked on the Republican platform, but I believe there are some rule changes that could be done. Now, members to attend the event are allowed to go in. Those who are not, in the past, they would allow people just, you can bring your relatives or whatever. Supposedly now they are saying that no, because of Wuhan virus rules, even though people can go to, most gatherings on the lake or BLM protests, they don't want people going into the convention. That's the Republican Party that's doing that. Why? I do not know. Protest Saturday in Fort Smith. How much is the entrance for June 19th? How much does it cost to go to the Trump event in Tulsa? I don't know. That's a good question. I just heard about it on the radio, and I've heard about it from other folks as well. And I don't know what other events. You can go to Trump.com, TrumpEvents.com. He should have that up there, and you can see what events that he has planned. And my other computer is not working. But anyway, that's great, Nancy. Glad to hear that. Let me see what else is going on here. I think that's about it, folks. It's about an hour. I'll try to do this next Thursday at 9. Just seems like a good time for me. I know Dave Ellswick comes on from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 101.1 FM, The Answer. He does do a Facebook live stream as well. So you can, if you have an event you want to share, you can put the link in there. And, of course, call him. Doc Washburn is on from 2 to 6. And these are people that talk about local issues on 102.9 KRN News Radio. He does not do a Facebook live stream, but he does occasionally do posts. And, of course, both these radio stations have apps. The KRN News app, I don't know. It has a lot of junk on it. It takes forever to load. Okay, Nancy just said the one I went to and with me and Rebecca went to in Dallas was free, so I assume this one will be as well. But, of course, there's going to be costs involved with getting gas. Finding parking. There'll be lots of stuff there you may want to buy, T-shirts, events, and you may want to sell stuff there. There's lots of rules. Of course, you can't bring weapons in the arena. You can't bring chairs and other stuff in the arena. There's last time is heavy security. Lots of people have to throw away their snacks. You're going to probably stand in line for at least an hour or two. So I don't know. I may bring an umbrella because I don't care, or a crappy piece of cardboard or something you can sit on but not care out and throw away. Honestly, I'd bring like a cardboard box and maybe some kind of pillow or something you don't care about. Not directly in the arena, but I guarantee you in the lines, there's tons of people. You've seen Trump rallies, you'll see them, and people on the way in the lines. There'll be trailers with hats and people passing out flyers. I may go there and pass out some flyers too. 2A Women needs to pass out some flyers there, possibly front and back. Put a one-page flyer, say, hey, we're having chapters over here. Patriots Vac 746 may want to do the same. Pro-life activists. There are primaries in Oklahoma. Let me see if that person said their name. Hold on. You stand your ground. The movie Unplanned. Oh, the person that passed, I know, Linda Collins Smith, cat and dog lover. She was murdered a little over a year ago by, we're not sure who. The police are saying that it was a friend of hers, but it looks way too sophisticated to be a crime of passion or anything like that, or way too sophisticated just to be one person. So it's likely under investigation. So anyway, I try to avoid other broadcasts. Chris Ann Hall has a broadcast on her Facebook page from about 5 to 6:30. I try to avoid some of the other stuff that's going on and focus a little more on things that's been going on before the weekend. Friday, everybody's usually gone, and I'm one of them. Monday, I'm not sure what else going to. Usually things are just way too busy. So this seems Thursday at 9 seems like a good time. Usually some political groups will have meetings in, but they'll be over by about this time. And if not, I'll try and do some talking. Anyway, folks, that's about it. Did an hour here. I'm going to go ahead and sign off on Facebook and YouTube, but you can still share this. This will become videos on those broadcasts. I'm going to upload some other videos to YouTube. Follow me on Keep Arkansas Legal on YouTube, Parler, and Gab. Kenny_NLR on Twitter. Of course, my Facebook page where I do regular broadcasts. And hope to see you next Thursday at 9. I'll sometimes do broadcasts before then at random, but I'll try to make Thursday at 9 a regular time. Until then, y'all have a good one. Enjoy Friday and the rest of the weekend.